Have you ever heard of a war where no shots are fired, but everyone still bleeds? A war that builds no homes, only walls. Let me tell you a story of lions and bears, of elephants and foxes, and one cunning snake. This isn't just a tale from the jungle. It's a reflection of the history of Cold War, when trust shattered, alliances split, and the world was never the same again.
Once upon a time, in a vast and diverse forest, all creatures lived together. Not perfectly, but peacefully. There were the mighty bears of the north, strong and stoic, the clever eagles of the west, fast, proud, and ambitious, the hard-working ants of the grasslands, the brave wolves of the hills, the loyal elephants from the south, and many more. They didn't always agree, but they shared the sunlight, drank from the same rivers, and respected the balance of power. Until the War of the Iron Beaks. You see, years ago, the eagles and the bears had fought side by side to defeat a monstrous hawk, the warhawk, who tried to conquer the forest under one bloody wing. Together, they crushed the warhawk and saved the land. But once the feathers settled, they began eyeing each other. Both wanted to rebuild the forest in their image. Both wanted to lead the new order. And right in between them, slithered the snake. This snake didn't have claws or wings. It didn't roar or stomp, but it had something far more dangerous. Whispers. The snake went to the eastern side of the forest, the bear's territory, and it hissed. "Don't you see the eagles? They fly over your lands, spreading their feathers, teaching their cubs to hunt your prey. They want it all." Then it slithered west into the eagle's nest. It whispered, "The bears are building stone caves, not for homes, but for war. They want to cage the sky, your sky." And the snake sold both sides something precious: fear. Soon, the forest was divided. The bears formed the Red Hollow, a zone ruled by discipline and unity. They built high trees, taught their cubs one language, and watched every branch. The eagles created Sky Zone, a land of freedom, trade, and shiny fruits. They made alliances with the wolves, the monkeys, the parrots, and even the otters. Each side formed their own packs. The bears with the owls, the badgers, and the ravens. The eagles with the foxes, the panthers, and the peacocks.
The forest had become a game board, but they didn't fight directly. No, they fought in whispers, in shadows, through smaller animals. In the southern grasslands, the ants were rising. They were forming their own kingdom. But both the bears and the eagles rushed in, offering help. One gave them food, the other gave them tools. Then they made the ants fight each other. In the far west, the hyenas of a dry canyon wanted independence. The eagles encouraged them to howl louder. The bears armed the jackals in return. In every corner of the forest, from the snowy moose hills to the lizard marshes, the snake's whispers stirred unrest. Animals weren't dying in wars, they were dying in other animals' wars. Years passed. Trees were cut to build walls, birds flew with fear, even the moonlight felt divided, half watched by the owls of the east, half by the eagles of the west. Then came the standoff. A group of boars, trained by the eagles, tried to invade a muddy corner ruled by the bears. The bears responded by placing massive pine cones, nuclear pine cones, right near the eagle's nest. For 13 nights, the forest held its breath. One spark, one wrong step, and the entire forest would burn. But just before the fire lit,
the bears and eagles met under the old banyan tree. They growled, hissed, and snapped, but finally, they both pulled back. Not because they trusted each other, but because they feared something worse. Eventually, the forest didn't explode, but it never healed fully either. The snake? It didn't vanish. It simply moved deeper into the shadows, smiling. Because it knew, you don't need to fight to conquer a forest. You only need to divide it. So next time someone offers you fear wrapped in friendship, ask, are they building a wall or hiding behind one? Because in the forest of life, not every whisper is wisdom, and not every ally wants peace.